Well, Ben, what can you tell me about this next team?
So you know how AR is like one of those like big technologies that are like coming out, whatnot, AR,
Sure.
all that stuff. So this team is around wherever it is that you're going and see some of the stuff in like real, like, whatever's there in landmarks, but in AR. I would like to see how the engineers of ExplorAR implemented it.
Hello, my name is Peter Berger, and I'm here with my colleagues Daniel Lanoff, Roberto Brillenborg, and Jeet Desai. And we are the makers of ExplorAR. It's a mobile app that lets you explore your surroundings, local bars, restaurants, attractions, in a more meaningful, interactive, and spontaneous way. Whether you have just recently moved to New York City, or you're traveling to Chicago for the first time, or you just want to rediscover just your own neighborhood, you can pull up ExplorAR and find out relative information about points of interest just near you. And you do this through a geolocated augmented reality experience. Simply log into the app, and within seconds, you're in an ExplorAR world, and you can visit historic landmarks and just understand where you can grab a bite to eat or a drink with friends. And to showcase our ExplorAR app, here's my colleague, Daniel.
So here we have our user, Roberto, who's on business from Venezuela. And he can see dynamically generated points of interest around him, such as attractions, bars, or nightlife. Here he's chosen to explore different attractions. So we're bringing in geo-coordinates from both Yelp as well as the user's mobile device to generate a local AR space for these points of interest. On top of Yelp's API, we can also bring in custom API, in this instance, the New York Stock Exchange data. In this case, so we can see here live data from the New York Stock Exchange, so that Roberto can stay up to date on the markets while he's on his business trip. We're also able to bring in Yelp reviews so that Roberto can enjoy a New York cuisine experience. And now on to Roberto for the architecture.
Thank you, Daniel. In terms of the architecture, we used a singular architecture here to start and get us up and running. We're using, on the front end, we're using React Native as the mobile UI. We're using Redux to manage state. And we're using ViroMedia as our AR framework, which interacts with AR Core and AR Kit respectively for Android and iOS. On the back end, we're using Node and Express as the core of our server. And we're pulling in the Yelp Fusion API as well as the Stock Exchange API to get the information about the points of interest. In terms of permanent storage, we're using Postgres and we're using Sequelize as our ORM. As a beginning, we have kind of a monolithic structure here, but we could certainly see this evolving into microservices based on the type of point of interest that you're interacting with in the future. To talk about kind of those technical details as well as some of the challenges we overcame, I'm going to pass it on to Jeet.
Great. Thanks, Roberto. Now I would like to talk about the challenges that we had in the development phase. One of them was to bring geo-coordinates into local AR space and integrating React Native with the AR development environment. And overall, we were able to combine all of this technology, geo, mobile, and AR into our final mobile application. We all really enjoyed working together as a team. We gained valuable learning experience in agile development environment. I think we were able to give a user immersive experience while learning more about their cities. Please check out our application via the link provided on the screen. Thank you.
I find that app to be really impressive because, they took multiple APIs and pulled them into the same AR experience. So, it's really fun just following a single user around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, like the multiple APIs, and I think what was more impressive was the fact that they thought about the future as well, saying like, oh well, we're going to use microservices because like we have a monolithic app. So they really think about the architecture about that and how they're going to build for the future. And I think honestly, this is going to be one of those like really new experiences that we can see in the future, where we just like go around and try to explore local spots just using AR.
Yeah, that seems like a day that's fast approaching.
Yeah.